But the interesting line to me, the one that I went, what do they know? Georgia Auburn was
that's not the one I was thinking. Okay.
That was the one I was thinking.
Okay. Let's go there.
Because you got 14 and a half. I've seen it even down to as low as maybe 12, maybe 12 and a half, but maybe it popped back up. So it's moved around just a little. But even at 14 and a half, I found myself going, I watched Auburn play football last week. I watched Auburn try to pass the ball last week, Andy. My eyes were bleeding. I know Hugh Freeze will figure it out eventually. It's early on. He's a good offensive coach. He will get that thing figured out. But Auburn's offense, especially Auburn's passing game, is a disaster. And I can't imagine that it's going to get a whole lot better against Georgia. So I was expecting that line to be much closer to 20. But again, Vegas tends to know. I will also say this. I like to, check in on a few of my analytics buddies and see how they have it projected. It's around that 14. So this is one where I'm going to trust my eyes and I'm going to lay them points and take the dogs. But I will say, clearly somebody knows something here because it didn't look right to me. That 14 and a half didn't look right to me after what I saw out of Auburn against Texas A&M.
Yeah, and you had Hugh Freeze all week saying, hey, don't blame Peyton Thorne for this. We got to coach him up a little better. And then, but then also he's holding the ball too long, or there are receivers getting open and we're not hitting him. Auburn's defense is opportunistic. We know that. And maybe that's the thinking is that there will be some quick momentum change that Auburn may either score a defensive touchdown or get a short field that the offense can punch in a couple easy points. I don't know, though. I'm with you on this. I don't see it. And the thing is, we've yet to see a fast start from Georgia. What happens if we get a fast start from Georgia?
That's sort of what I'm thinking, too. We haven't seen the best of Georgia yet. And you got to think the Auburn game is about the time when the Bulldogs say, okay, let's just show you what we can do here.
So Burley in the chat, South Carolina almost whooped Georgia. No, they didn't. No. They were winning 14-3 at halftime. You had the cameras in the locker room at halftime. Georgia wasn't panicked at all, and they came out and whooped them in the second half.
Yeah. Georgia just shut it down. I mean, they just completely shut down South Carolina in the second half. And I just wonder again, Georgia hasn't played anybody except South Carolina. And I don't know, it's just a weird start for Georgia to the extent where I don't know how much they're just maybe a little, not necessarily disinterested, but they're trying some things out. They're using walk-ons. I would say this, the one red, slight red, maybe it's not a red flag. Maybe it's a pink flag. Georgia hasn't run the ball that well. Not for Georgia, not against these type of teams. They have not come out and really, really run the ball at a very high level. I kind of want to see that this week.
I just feel like we're going to get a crisp Georgia game at some point.
Yeah,
and then
I think so too.
And then Katie bar the door. That's the problem. Steven in the chat, is there any best from Georgia? Going to be interesting, but I tend to think Auburn is not going to stay within 14 and a half. We're with you, Steven. I don't see it. I just can't picture how Auburn does this unless the offense suddenly comes to life. And against Georgia's defense, how's that going to happen?
That's what I keep thinking. To cover that, you probably need to get at least 10.
Right.
And I'm not sure that's a given. So now we're talking, okay, reasonably, if you get to 14, you're probably covering that. Even assuming you put together a really good offensive effort. So I don't know. Yeah. Again, to me, that line screamed, what do you know that I don't? And again, often that's a lot. Often a lot of people know a lot of things that I don't, especially out in Vegas.
Yeah.
But I'll go with my eyes on that.
Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples on 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.